Okay, we are live. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, everybody.
Good morning. For me, anyway, it's good morning. So, hola.
Right. And today we are going to go over how to jumpstart your home business with Gigabucks income. Right? Sounds interesting already. And I know you guys are like, well, what is a gigabuck? We're going to get into it. And I have my handy dandy notebook here because I, again, am going to be taking notes because this is an area that I'm a student in. So I'll be asking Christy questions throughout today's session because I'm learning too.
Yeah. So, I'm sure everyone's like, what the heck is Gigabucks income, right? Gigabucks income is basically your and there's four forms of it. And today we're going to talk about the first one, which is recommending other people's digital and informational products. And I did say digital and informational, right? Not their physical products that are higher end in price, but also higher end in value, and then getting paid for the referral. So some people like to call this high ticket freelance digital marketing. We call this Gigabucks income, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. If you're thinking like, should I be listening to this? I'll tell you who this is not for, so you can decide if you want to jump off or not. Okay. If you're lazy, this is definitely not going to be for you. If you are looking to get rich quick because you're thinking, Christy said gigabucks. Christina said gigabucks. That sounds like right, like I don't know, going down to the megabucks, right? To like pick your lottery numbers. No, right? So if you're looking to get rich quick, this is definitely not going to be the session for you today. In fact, none of our sessions will be for you.
Right.
Um, if you're very closed-minded to new ideas, this is not going to be for you. If you're not open to learning, this is not going to be for you.
Right. But who is it going to be for?
Yeah, right. That's the real question, right? So if you want to be your own boss and make money, regardless of the time, place, right? So that means that you can move around from location to location, make money on while you travel, make money from your basement, whatever. This would probably be for you. If you want to make money by helping other people with something that you're already interested in, that would definitely be a reason to stick around here. Okay, today. If you don't want to make your own product, we touched on this yesterday, right? So many of us don't want to make our own product. We're going to cover some things later this week for Gigabucks money where you do make your own product or you provide the product. Today, this is what I call a very beginner friendly income model with our Gigabucks because you don't need to make your own product. In fact, you shouldn't make your own product for this. That you understand that there's going to be trial and error. This is an experience that you go through that you're constantly learning. That's a theme of ours here on the Pip Sisters. Success is not going to just come overnight. You're going to quit your job tomorrow because you listened to this today, right? Or you took a class. If you've never had a home business before, this is definitely for you. And if you currently have a home business of any kind, this is definitely for you if you want to increase the revenue that you're bringing in on top of what you already do in your home business, whether it's e-commerce, network marketing, putting together little flower baskets and selling them on TikTok, whatever. It's definitely for you if you're looking to increase revenue. So yesterday we talked about the criteria for choosing an income model to focus on. Christina, should I share with them like the specific criteria that we're looking for here?
I think we could be a little bit specific.
Right. I don't want to overwhelm you, but whether we're looking at microbuck money, and I'm going to talk about that too in a minute, microbucks, or we're talking about gigabucks, right? There are three criteria in order to be consistent and lucrative. So when you're looking to refer people to other people's products, right? We already talked about this a little bit yesterday. You're looking for other people's products. How do you know which product or products to choose? All right, this is my criteria. Number one, the potential buyer needs to feel like when you share information with a potential buyer that they're going to, get better information about that product based on your recommendation. So you have to feel good about what you're recommending, right? Because what you want to be doing is giving people information that helps them make a better and more informed decision. So you don't want to choose something that you don't believe in. Is
Mhm.
it better? Is it best to choose something maybe you've already purchased at a higher end yourself? Sure, but it's not absolutely like necessary. But you do want to feel good about the products that you're promoting because you're going to go out there and you're going to tell the buyer you should buy this because, and
Right.
help them make a better informed decision for themselves, right? Number two, whoever created that product, um, this needs to be win-win-win for everyone, right? So they're going to receive a sale without actually having to advertise the product, right? Everyone needs to win. So absolutely, I hope that you want them to make a big chunk of money when you refer their product,
Yep.
okay? And then you, the marketer, you're going to make a big chunk of money on the sale of the product. So if someone has a product, I don't know, let's say they're selling it for $1,000 and they only want to pay you $50, that would be a no for me because they need to make sure that you're getting, that they offer a good chunk of money, right? And this is why we like to go with digital and informational products because there is a much wider room in the commission structure to
Mhm.
pay out, make sure that the buyer gets a good deal, that the owner or author of the product makes money, and you, the refer or the marketer, makes money as well. Where if you're when you're selling a physical product, there's only like a small room for markup, right? And now
Right.
there's these little itty bitty commissions coming in, if you will. So the buyer gets good information, the author makes money, and the marketer makes money. Those are the three criteria. To me, you have to feel good about what you're recommending to people. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if I'm new though, like, should I start with a Gigabucks product?
So I absolutely say yes to this. Okay. And this is a question that we've gotten a lot over the years. Like, should I be starting with something that's a little less intimidating, right? Do I want to be promoting a $5,000 product, $1,000 product, even a $10,000 product of somebody's? Shouldn't I just start with something that's $20, $30? Seems like that would be easier to get sales. Let me talk about this for a minute, okay? Because many people who come into this space who are inexperienced, what happens is and you can see it like on TikTok or, other social media platforms, they'll have these large amount of products that they're recommending. Oh, you should check this out. I'm not saying that you can't make money that way. There are people that go on Amazon, they do reviews for like hundreds of Amazon products, right? But they get little tiny commissions out of it. All right. And that can work. I'm not going to say it can't because people do it every day. So I'd be lying to you. Right. But man, if you're new,
It's
you're
time
thinking
consuming.
it is going to take a long time to get that up, and you're making little itty bitty commissions along the way. And that can be very frustrating. It can also make us want to just quit because, like, oh, I got a $2 check. I got a $3 check. Now I got
Yep.
a $6 check. I'm 60 days in. Even though if that's what you chose to do, you should keep going because eventually you will get there with what we call the microbucks products. And microbucks products do have their place, which we'll do maybe on another training or maybe in our private class because they have a place in your marketing, but not to make a profit. They have a whole different use case as far as I'm concerned. So, but if you think about Amazon, right? Everyone's familiar with Amazon. I think you're familiar with Amazon.
Yep.
They have a program, a rewards program, right? And the commission paid, is very small. So to get decent earnings, you have to have a huge amount of sales. So that's why we see a lot of inexperienced new marketers starting with these small products, and they're doing all these small products. And actually, to me, doing a whole bunch of small products, that's actually more for the experienced marketer who really knows how to get large volume already so they can make a lot of money off a small product. If you're inexperienced, it's going to be very, very challenging. So,
I started backwards.
right. Well, most of us did, right? And we are affiliate marketers for small things, but they have a different purpose and a different place in our marketing structure, and it's not to make a profit. Okay. So for this reason, we recommend focusing on higher ticket items. All right. The Gigabucks products, like the online courses, like memberships. I love memberships
Yep.
because they are recurring, and it's a recurring, Christina calls that anyway money, right? Because it's like if you're getting that commission every month or every Friday, the Friday was going to come anyway, right?
Yep.
Might as well get the check, right? Software, These types of products, the commissions, the rewards that the owner or the author will pay you can be as high as 50%.
Mhm.
And it's on a higher end product. Even a membership, let's say it's $99 a month, they may pay you $40 or $50 a month per membership to drive traffic over to their stuff, right? A
Yeah.
fair commission structure is 40 to 50%. Like I said, if someone had a very valuable high ticket item they were selling and they were only going to pay me 5%, I wouldn't recommend it no matter how good it was. I might recommend
Right.
it for free actually, just to say this is good, but I don't really care about focusing on it for income source, right?
Right.
So it's definitely worth considering that, these types of offers, these types of commissions can really be life changing. Also, now you only have to focus on maybe one or two types of products with any marketing you're doing. If you're doing TikTok videos and you've got 100 Amazon products you're trying, now you got to learn about all this stuff. And if you have something that is going to create like gigabuck kind of rewards for you, you only have, maybe you just pick one thing. And now you're getting very knowledgeable. You're niching down into a market that, where you can talk very intelligently about it. You can educate yourself on this one or two products that you're recommending. And that way you can give more value to your audience. And it is all
Right.
about value, right?
Exactly. But do me a favor. Like, I know because Christy and I talk about this stuff all the time, she has some pro tips. I want her to share one of her pro tips. Like, this helped me so much.
So, pro tip, yes, going back to what I was saying about, okay, let's talk about memberships. If the product you're recommending also offers a membership, I love that combination of they have something that's a little higher end, but they also have a membership. Maybe it's $49 a month, $50 a month, 97 a month, right? Usually stuff like that's usually around 100 or less a month, right? If they offer the membership, make sure that the rewards program pays a recurring commission, because there are authors out there who just want to pay you for the one-time referral and then they're getting all of the recurring rewards on the back end. So, we're nice people, but we're also here to make money,
Yeah.
right? So if I'm going to do all that work to drive traffic over to somebody else's products and help them make money too, I also want to make sure that I'm getting that extra money on the back end if they bought their recurring subscription. I love subscription products, right? When you marry subscription products with a higher end product where you're making money up front, it's the best combination because you're getting a large chunk of money up front and then you're building up that anyway money on
Yeah.
the back end, right? That's going to keep coming in anyway because it's recurring, if you will. Let
Right.
me give you, oh, go ahead, Christina.
So be like smart while you're being nice.
Right. Yes, exactly. Like I have people all the time. It's like, well, can't we spend a couple hours together and you can show me how to do this stuff? And it's like, no, I can't, but I'll do it in a group setting. Right. So we
Right.
could do a class with 100 people, but like, no, can you imagine 100 people said, could you take some one-on-one time with me for 2 hours and show me how to do all this stuff? So you have to be nice and generous, but it's also smart because we're all here to create income from home and our time is super valuable as well. If you're going to take the time to drive traffic to someone's course and they also have a recurring thing, just make sure that they are paying you. And again, 40, 50% is very fair because it's already an information course or a software, right? There is a large room, and some people, well, they shouldn't charge so much if there's so much room. Intellectual property is a thing and it's important. If you were so smart, then you would come up with the idea yourself and spend the thousands of hours to create the product. Okay.
Right.
But once the product's created, because you get that a lot too, because like they're charging too much for their product. It only costs them like $10 a month to host it on their server. Yeah, and how about all the money they spent and the time they spent to create the product? Intellectual property is a thing and it's important. And information, I will pay every day for information if it will help me in some way. It doesn't even have to be a money thing, right?
Right.
Maybe I'm trying to fix something in my house and somebody's selling a little course on it. I'll freaking buy it, right? So let me just give you an example, a real world example of a couple of products that I don't currently rep for, but I did in the past. All right. So, and we had both because remember, little microbucks products have their place too. So we
Yep.
have, okay. So I had a higher ticket, higher end program that I recommended people to, that I earned a $5,000 commission when people bought it. $5,000, that was the rewards program. Okay. You're like, what? Yes. Now, I also had a little Microbucks product. It was like a hosting program. People pay for hosting for $10 a month. And you know how much I made from that? $1. Did I have way more customers? I mean, I must have referred, I think it was 1,038 customers
Dang.
over there. Now, do the math. 1,038 customers times $1. $1,000, right, a month, and that was residual. So there is that. It was the anyway type of money. So over the course of time, if they stayed on, it would have been more than that. But here's my thing: did I have way more customers on the $10 thing that I got a buck on? Of course. Is it harder to get a $5,000 sale? Sure, but let me ask you: is it 5,000 times harder? Because that's how many sales you have to make to equal the other sale. No, it's not. It's not exponentially the same. It's not like 5,000 times harder. It's actually much easier. If you're trying to make $10,000 a month, and that's what you need to make, how many sales do you have to make? 2 a month. That's it. Now, am I going to say that's going to be easy? No, but how many sales are you going to have to make of the $1 product? If it's recurring, you're going to have to make 10,000. Yes, 10,000 total sales that they don't drop out, so that it's coming in recurring every month.
Yep.
Or I can create 24 new sales a month. New sales for the year, and still have that same 100K.
Yep.
Right. So it's not fine. It's harder. Yes. Is it 5,000 times harder? No, there's not an equal thing going on where it's going to be this much harder. It's actually easier. And I've seen people, like, they want to make $10,000 a month. Oh, this goes into the realm of where they've gotten more advanced, where they've created some of their own products and services that are very, very, very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
They create it so that it's a $10,000 product. Why? Because they only need to now do one a month. It's their own product, and they're good.
Right.
Right. They're good for their earnings for the month. Doesn't mean they stop or quit. Is it harder to do a $10,000 product than a 5? Maybe a little bit, but probably not. If you understand, when you start to understand this. Now, sometimes what gets in the way too, pro tip, is you say, I would never spend that much money on information products.
Oh,
okay. This is where the mindset, maybe you wouldn't, or maybe you haven't, right? I have. Okay. I've spent as much as $10,000 just a few months ago. Right. So in one shot, 99,500. So let me be very accurate and truthful. Right. There was something, I think, on a TikTok. Christine and I were looking at it, and it was kind of one of our peers, and he was doing a TikTok, and he was saying how his mentor, right? I love hearing people talk about things they learned from their mentors, right?
Mm-hmm.
How millionaires spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions to become millionaires, and billionaires spend millions and billions to become millionaires, and the poor want to be rich, but they want to spend nothing.
Exactly.
So it's a mindset thing, because information is a real thing. Coaching is a real thing. And when you even if you aren't a place where you could buy a higher ticket, go to a Tony Robbins mastermind for the weekend and drop 10 grand, let's just say, on a private thing he's doing on an island, and it's like 10 grand a pop. Doesn't mean that other people wouldn't. And that doesn't mean that you won't once you grow, because some of the largest amount purchases I've made for coaching have made me 10 or 15 or 20 times the money just by attending those things and getting that information and implementing that information.
Right. It's valuable for a reason. They're not putting these higher prices on the information because it doesn't work. They're putting the higher prices on the information because they've seen people get massive results. So anybody else who wants to be in that category and have those type of results, you kind of got to pay for the information. And there's nothing wrong with building up to getting that money so that you can pay for the bigger courses, so that you can get involved with those different groups and surround yourself with those people who can help you grow or boost or push your business to the moon. The prices are for a reason. And you can't say, if whatever you're good at, if you charged people to teach them to be as good as you, if someone told you that your prices were too expensive, would you believe it? No, because you find value in the course and in the information that you have, and you understand that they don't have it. So it's the same situation. You can't tell somebody that it's expensive, but you kind of need the information. So
Think about something that you're really, really good at. I use this analogy all the time.
mhm.
Something that you're just, it doesn't have to do anything to do with making money or whatever. Just something
Right.
that you're just superior at, you're an expert at. People in your social life come to you and ask you
Yep.
for advice in this area. Maybe you've been an amazing soccer player. I use the cake baking because I know a couple of people who just make amazing bakery, right? People are coming to them all the time asking for tips on how to frost their cake or the ingredients or something to make it more moist. Why? How long? So think of that first. How long did it take you
Yep.
to become so knowledgeable and so proficient and so slick at what you do?
Mhm.
What value is there? It's the time that you did,
Yep.
right? And now if you were to sell your expertise and you figured out I've spent 20,000 hours perfecting my craft, how much do you think you were worth per hour while
Exactly.
you were learning it?
Think about the job that you would do teaching people. Would you teach somebody for $7 an hour to do what you did, what took you thousands of hours to learn and be proficient at? Would you do that? No, you would put a different price on your time at that point. So that's the same situation.
And this is why I don't want you to just look at them like, oh, I can make a lot of money here. They're going to pay me $1,000. My rule of thumb is usually that needs to be something that pays out like $500 to $1,000 at once, and then you can graduate into the bigger stuff, right?
Yep.
But think about it past that. You're just trying to make money. Think about what that person is offering, that author of that product or that software, right? Maybe they've got this software they put together. I just got some software for something. I'm not going to say what it is because you'll run out and want to go look at it, but I'm not showing it to you. And it took them 2 years to get it where it was ready to release to the public. And who knows how much time they spent on it over those 2 years, right? So I just want to get you past this thing where I would never buy a product that was 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. I've seen people drop $100,000 on information products in one shot. You're like, that's how much I make in 2 years. I'd never do that. That's a mindset thing. How about challenging yourself to get past the limiting belief where I want to make so much money that I can drop $10,000 for good information like it's no big deal,
Yep.
right? And level up and remembering that millionaires spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions to become millionaires, and billionaires spend millions and billions to become billionaires and to stay billionaires. Is everybody who's listening today, are you trying to be a billionaire? No, but so don't miss the point. The point is that there is a market for people. I am one of them who will pay good high-end money to get good high-end value. And Christina said something that I don't want you guys to miss. She said, and putting you in let's say it's like a mastermind or information where you're in some kind of private training, the people
Mm-hmm.
that you meet and you get to surround yourself with are going to be other people who also see things in a very different way than your circle
Yep.
that you're in now, right? And so that's invaluable, if you will. So, I mean, if you're going to work to implement this business model, why not get paid the gigabucks instead of the microbucks? This is a very long answer to Christine's very short question. If you're new, should you start with the gigabucks? Absolutely 100% yes. Because I'm telling you, even if it takes you 3, 4 months, 4 months, 5 months, make your first sale. When you get that first check and it's $997 all at once, $3,997 all at once. That'll be that. The first check you ever get, you will be hooked. It'll make perfect sense. Whereas your $2 I get excited. I get excited about the little checks too. Like I do. I think everything. But for most average people, oh, I made $1.70 my first check.
Oh yeah.
It's like, that's cool. I'm kind of excited about it. And then you get another check for $1.70 and it's not as cool anymore. And another one, and
Right.
another one, or whatever. Right. Where I'm telling you that for that first check, where it's a large check all at once, a chunk of money, you're like, it does work. And I am hooked now because I want another one of these babies. Right.
Like, why didn't I do it sooner?
Right. Exactly. Yes.
That's crazy. So I know you guys are like, well, how do I get started? Where do I go? Well, you can do the exact same thing that we did.
Right.
It's not that hard. We just talked about like doing the same thing because it works, right? So you can go ahead and find mentorship with our Millionaire Mentor. It's actually a 15-day challenge that we're going to make sure that you have the information to get access to. Every day for 15 days, you're going to learn a new topic and you're going to take a step closer towards starting your own digital business. So go ahead, grab pen and paper, and you want to write this down. Okay, go to thepipsisters.com/GBI. So I'll put it up behind me so you guys can see it. But it's thepipsisters.com/GBI. Now, is there a cost for the course? We just talked about that. Yes, there's a fee. Guess how much it is? It's like $7. It's just $7, right? That's like less than 50 cents per lesson. And then at the end of the program, you'll have the knowledge to start your own online business and know the necessary information to build the foundation for your successful Gigabuck just earner. You'll be in that little category and you'll be rubbing elbows and shoulders with us, right? But do the same thing that we did. We seen success by starting with this crazy $7 course, and it kind of expounded from there. And now we're able to share the information with people like you. You can do the same thing, right? So go to www.thepipsisters.com/GBI and get started. Do what we did.
Yep. And I'll just tell you, like our millionaire mentor, I was just on a training with him. Was it yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm picking his brain. Like he just blows my mind every time I get to talk with him. Because we work with him personally as well. But here's my thing, and this is why I got into the 15-day challenge. And when I got into the 15 challenge, I was completely wowed because it's again way more value than $7. I think that it should be that class should be there should be more money charged for this class because of how much value is there, right? And so, but I was like, I like to learn from people who are way like ahead of me. It doesn't have to be way ahead of me, but our mentor is a $1 million earner, multi-million-dollar earner. I don't know look at his finances, but I know he's in the 7 figures. Okay. And I've known and watched him for, a long time, for years. And I'm like, $7? Really? Okay. Let me get in here, see what this is. And it did not disappoint. So I really encourage you to go to thepipsisters.com/GBI because that's Gigabucks income, right? Yep. And check out the course. You will be very, very pleased, I believe. Yep.
Right. And then once you start, don't forget to let us know that you started. So go ahead and comment below this video. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and comment below the live so that we can come on the journey with you. It's all better to go places with friends.
Thank you for bringing that up. Certainly while you're going through the challenge, reach out to us. You can message us on the Pip Sisters page if you have any questions or need assistance as you're going through, right? But by the time you're done, you're going to see the entire Millionaire Mentor blueprint on there for Gigabucks money, the whole thing, start to finish.
It blew my mind because it's like for $7, the amount of value that you get, and you do get, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but you get some mentorship involved in that as well.
Yep.
But it's phenomenal for $7. So you can't beat that. Like, just think of it like 50 cents per lesson. So
You got to do the lessons one a day, and you'll have the whole blueprint of a multimillionaire.
Exactly. So in like a day over 2 weeks, you can dedicate at least that amount of time daily towards building your residual income. Okay. But that is going to wrap us up for today. Christy, do you have any closing thoughts?
Just do it. Start now, like today, like right now. We could be talking, and I want you typing in the pipsisters.com. The reason I say that is because if you wait, you probably will never start.
Exactly. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, what's stopping you from spending $7 to start? When you spend the $7, you're going to get access. And then you plan out the time. And then if you do the work, you're going to get results. Like, do the work.
Do the work. You got to do the lessons, and they're not very long.
No, not at all. Like, I think the longest one for me might have been like lesson 4.
It's like maybe an hour, an hour or something. Yeah.
Because I didn't have any of the information, so I had to start from scratch, but I'm new to the whole everything. So for me, that lesson 4 probably took the longest for me, but it wasn't bad. Like afterwards from there, it was like, oh, I know how to do it now. And then they give you tutorials that go along with the actionable steps for the other lessons. So you don't go in and say, how do I use this thing they just showed me how to use? They're saying, here's this thing, we're going to show you how to use it. And here's the tutorial so you can watch it while you do what we just told you to do. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah. The last thing, it's like, are we trying to get you to go over there? Absolutely. Because I'm going to tell you this. Let me tell you this. I have been a full-time marketer for decades, and I went in there and was blown away at the value that I got. And I know a lot of stuff already. So I wasn't even a beginner, right? And I was like, this makes absolute perfect sense. But what I liked about even more about it was I felt like I no longer had to teach other people how to do what I do because this was put together so well. I can just send them there, and other people can send people there. If you want to know about marketing, even if you already have a home business, let's say you're in an MLM or have an e-commerce store, right? Is that the business model we're working in? No, but you can learn how to do your marketing for those businesses inside of the 15-day challenge too. Marketing is the same no matter what you do.
Right. No matter what the product is, it still needs to be marketed to people. It needs to get in front of people for you to make money. So this course, 15 days for $7, teaches you how to do that. So don't miss out and don't wait. Like, what are you waiting for? Just hit the button. It's $7. You spend more than that when you go to the gas station on snacks.
Well, at least Christy does, for sure.
I do. Yeah. I do. I've cut back a little bit. But that is going to wrap us up from here. Thank you, everybody, for showing up today, for taking notes, for commenting below, for sharing this information with your friends and family, because everybody needs a little bit of extra income in their house. So share it, right? And then we will see you on tomorrow's session where we're going to talk about high ticket coaching services. Okay. But
more Gigabucks money. Okay.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.